I had a question to myself. When do we define a time of our life that is considered our childhood? Last month, I visited my parents' house because they are moving out of it. I consider that house to be my childhood home, although I did move around, but that's the house that I lived the longest. So I consider a large bulk of my childhood to take place there. And the idea that because my parents are moving out and I will no longer be able to visit it kind of signified to me that it was an end of an era. And no, I do not mean it in the context of fucking Taylor Swift. So in commemoration of the end of a period of life that I consider my childhood, I thought I should do a childhood review. So here I have a bag of random stuff. I'm still sick. A bag of random stuff that contains important items from my life and more. And yes, I bought this lavalier mic and it does not sound good when attached to my shirt, so I have to hold it in front of my face. And these mugs are here because I'm still sick. And my girlfriend got sick. So this first bag contains all the stuff that I consider one of my most important aspects of my life, which is gaming. So to start off, I had my original DS and the DSi, and finally the 3DS. If Nintendo somehow had a way to track how many hours I played games on these, like Steam does, probably would be in the thousands. I don't exactly know how it started, but the first DS came into my life because randomly my dad decided that I should have a DS, but because he also thought it was really cool. And along with the original DS, the first game that we purchased is the Pokemon Giratina Platinum in Korean. So that was the start of my love for Pokemon. Here I got 3 different Pokemon games there. Platinum, Soul Silver, and Black. And in the back, I got some random ass games like Mapop Chonjamun DS, Inazuma 11, and a random Naruto game. Oh yeah, as you can see, just like any child would, it has some stickers on it. I think it's Bakugan and Pikachu in it. This used to stick around me everywhere. You know, like we would go to a restaurant, make our first order, and then immediately pull out the DS to start playing. Or in the plane ride, as soon as the plane takes off, I pull it out, start grinding away. And then DSi is the next upgrade, pretty much the same thing. I got the TT emulator chip. I don't know if that's illegal or not. I don't know if Nintendo is gonna, I guess, freaking sue me or something, like they always do. And then finally, the 3DS was purchased when I moved here to the US, and I played like the remake of Sapphire, the new Super Smash Bros. Game, Animal Crossing. Also had the emulator with some other games in it. We actually recently, me and my girlfriend, decided to pull these out because we were talking about how nostalgic it was to think about the new Super Mario Bros. Game on the DS. And we actually were able to figure out how to connect and play together the mini games and stuff like that. Actually pretty good game. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that things that you kind of didn't even know you stumbled into early on in your life kind of like sticks with you. Like if my dad never got that first DS randomly, then maybe I never would have played any video games. In a way, it's a good and a bad thing. So kind of going back to the topic at hand, I don't exactly remember the last time I played like a certain game on the DS. I was like looking back some of the old games and I was like, whoa, like I actually used to play these games and I grinded a shit ton in it. My Pokemon, like a lot of my Pokemons are like level 100. There's this old like Maple Story game that I played. All 4 characters are like maxed out and stuff. And I'm like, I almost don't remember playing these games. I do remember playing them, but like not in detail. So it's like during when you're enjoying your time as a kid, it's just another day, it's just another time of you opening your DS and playing it. But if you look back on it, hindsight, you don't even remember the last time you played it. And to be hella melancholic about this, it's like as you grow up, you get so busy. You're like, oh, I gotta go to school, finish school, go to college. And I guess I'm trying to finish college and just been like work, and just like moving on with your life and looking forward for the future. And then you forget that you leave your past behind. And it's not always healthy to like look back on the past and be stuck in the past. But I also think it's good to kind of stop for a bit and look back and kind of recognize how far you came. That's what she said. Next on the list, one of the more important aspects of my childhood is actually there. So that is my collection of the Naruto manga, and I started halfway through it, or not halfway, but partway through, starting from chapter 58 all the way to the final one. In fact, the first 4 chapters are in French. So I think this is proof that my second most important aspect of my life is anime. I don't even know when I first started watching Naruto, but I consider it to be my childhood show. And it was also very sad when it ended. And it was also even more sad that Boruto, the anime at least, sucks. But as a kid, I used to watch like the Pokemon anime, the Beyblade anime, and I guess eventually kind of steamrolled into like watching more shows. Some good, some bad, some proud to say I watched, some I'm not proud. But in a way, I'm grateful because my interest in anime is one of the reasons why I still have the people I care about around me. My best friend, we always watch new animes together. And even though we may not, hang out all the time, it's at least one thing that keeps us connected, watch the show together, send, memes and reels about it. It's also one of the interests that, connected me with my girlfriend. Kind of interesting how your childhood interest, carries throughout your life and still contributes to your current life, socially, mentally. So I guess in a way, I'm grateful at my past self for liking anime, I guess. It's a very weird subject that I'm not exactly sure I fully understand. Continuing on with that idea, the next thing I have that I collected are Pokemon cards. Back when I first moved to the States and didn't speak that much English, and I was trying desperately to connect with my peers, one of the things that was universally popular amongst kids was Pokemon. And back in elementary school, we would collect these cards and then bring them out, show and tell, or trade, or even try to understand the battling system. And even though there is like a language barrier, it's kind of like, well, Pokemon is sick and names may be different, but we know what they look like. So like, yo, you got that card, we should trade. And one of the biggest leverage that I had in the trading system in our elementary school is that I owned a card in a different language. So even if it's like a shitty card, these dumbass elementary school kids, just kidding, they're still my best friends, they would be like, whoa, like it's in Chinese. But yeah, you could have this sick ass card that is in a different language for your cool card that is actually higher value. I am not a scammer. I am a businessman. But on top of Pokemon cards, I had some other cards that I collected too, and I have it contained in this Christmas Freak Bob container. These are some Digimon cards, also in Korean. And I also have some of these cards, and they're called Vanguard. Probably an extremely random niche card game that came out, definitely capitalizing off of kids. But I don't know, I just saw the anime like when I was like 7 or something, and I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever. I need to go buy it. I remember we went to like a local stationery store in Korea, and they're like, oh, like we don't have it, but we can like order it. We're like, okay, like we'll order it. I still have no idea what this is. Like, I don't know, like ever since that point, I've never heard of this show or card game before. So if there's anybody who knows what the Vanguard trading card game is, I would be very surprised. And finally, I had like this one box of Naruto card. I don't think Naruto card game is like super popular, but this is a pretty sick card, not gonna lie. I remember going to like Target, going to all the trading card section, and recently, I guess my interest in trading card game re-emerged, and I got into the One Piece card game, and I managed to get one of the boxes. But why the fuck is it so hard to buy it physically? I had to get this from eBay from a random person. Probably upsold me. I got one, but it's like impossible to find it in real life. Like I go to Target, and I go to like Walmart, and it's just the shelves are empty. The same with like Pokemon cards. I think like it's like scalpers or something. Like that used to be not a thing, like when I was a kid. So I kind of feel bad for like kids nowadays. You can't get trading cards from like the store legitimately. Like you have to buy it at an upsold price or something. One of the ways I can interpret my sudden interest in getting One Piece trading card, I guess it's kind of like reliving your childhood, I guess. Like maybe because of nostalgia, or maybe because like regrets, like wishing that you enjoyed more of your childhood while you were younger. And I guess trying to recapture that moment in the present. And I guess it's okay, or it's healthy to keep in touch with your inner child, because as you grow up, your life gets so busy and you get lost in just working and grinding, and you probably get mentally exhausted. So once in a while, have some fun, enjoy your life, and do some of the stuff that you always wanted to do, or do the thing that you love to do again. And I had the honor of opening this box with my best friend, and it was a great time. I actually did get a lot of sick looking cards. I know like the monetary side of things are pretty like intense in the scene, but I think this is the highest value one. It's the Boa Hancock alternate art, I think. Looks pretty sick. Also got this Otama art. It's seen pretty higher value. I mean, it's alright personally. I think my favorite one is actually this Whitebeard one. This one's pretty sick. Another thing is kind of like these cards, like they're worth like a certain amount or something. But I don't really care too much. Sometimes I get sick of trying to like min-max everything, and like, oh, like how much is this card value? Like I gotta sell it, or like, I just want to just enjoy the art and how cool it is, or I guess how hot it is. So one last thing I wanted to show. I don't know why this is somehow like some sort of show and tell video, but this is my very first laptop, my very first personal computer. It does not turn on. I'm pretty sure my dad formatted the hard drive, so it has nothing in it. Pretty sure I had some old like Minecraft videos in it. Damn it. But this laptop is where I first ever recorded, like Minecraft videos with my friends, where I first edited, and where I first uploaded my first YouTube video. And one of the things that I kind of wonder about my life right now, about like making YouTube videos now, is kind of like, why do I want to do it? And this could definitely be like a whole nother like topic of a video, but like I've been mentioning before with all the other stuff, it's like your current interest is rooted from your past interest. And I guess ever since I made those silly, goofy, shitty Minecraft videos, I just liked making videos and I guess doing creative stuff like that. So I guess one final lesson to myself is that, sometimes revisiting and looking back on your childhood can be a good, I guess, motivator and like a mind refresher for myself to keep going, with my path forward. Because sometimes when I just live day to day, going to school, doing all the homework and going to work, I kind of go on like autopilot mode. And I just kind of ask myself, like, what am I even doing this for? What am I even living for? That kind of stuff. A lot of the ideas in my head for this video is kind of all over the place. I guess in general, the final message that I want to say is that enjoy your life like you did in your childhood. Don't get too lost in the sauce with the work that you have to do now. And maybe through those enjoyments, it will motivate you to keep pushing forward. Anyways, hella cheesy video, I feel like, but and I gotta watch this, while editing. I'm going to cringe while I'm editing it, but that's okay because that's the part of making a YouTube video, and I'm going to upload it because I like making YouTube videos. I don't care if it gets views, as long as I like the process of it. That's all I need. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.